Hello out there in lockdown land, as I'm calling it this month. A big hi to my clients in Sydney too. I hope you're keeping well during these times, and of course here in Queensland. So this month's vlog is all about personality. Do you actually know your personality type? Do you know what makes you different from everybody else on the planet? Every human is unique and we're born with certain traits. And as you grow, learn, see, hear, taste, touch, and smell, your personality develops. The concept of psychological type theory describes personality as a group of preferences of how an individual is energized, how they take in information, how they make decisions, and then how they choose to relate to the external world. The ideas and theory behind personality type are useful for recognizing how individuals communicate, how they collaborate, influence, negotiate, manage stress, and their priorities. A personality type inventory is an assessment tool that was built upon 90 years of psychological research from Carl Jung, who was a Swedish psychologist in the 1800s. Then Catherine Briggs and Isabel Myers launched that tool in the 1930s for the US Army. Jung developed his psychological type theory to explain the normal differences between healthy people, and he devoted his entire life to understanding and defining the human psyche. So as a brief outline, individuals are born with a dominant function, usually up to about the age of 6, and they have an auxiliary function, and both of those work together very well. The third function is our tertiary mental function, and the least preferred function is what we call the inferior function. And each of these 4 mental functions have a usual pattern of development as a person ages in life. So I am an accredited personality type profiler, and I use Majors PTI. And one of the interesting areas of personality profiling is understanding how your behavior operates under stress. It also gives you cool tools as to career development, communication, relationships, how you prefer to learn, how you prefer to work in a team. And this inferior function is also part of that process. When the inferior function becomes out of control, it's often referred to as in the grip experience, and usually happens around the age of 35. And then, of course, we know that as the midlife crisis. And this is because many life events do happen to people between the age of 30 and 40. So when the inferior function takes over, a person can become moody, overcritical, depressed, emotionally charged, and unable to discuss things rationally. And this is the in the grip experience. So because the inferior function remains poorly developed throughout our life, it's largely unconscious. And if this function stays underdeveloped, then behaviors will be childlike and primitive, and the person can also become very defensive. So when experiencing in the grip reactions, we often try to deny it, suppress it, manage it, or deflect it onto a personal situation that we believe is responsible. This can also negatively impact our relationships and our well-being. So when experiencing these moments, it's important to recognize that these stresses or triggers are perpetrated by an unspoken need or value that's not being met. And stress is part of a human condition, and at a certain level it can be beneficial. The true opportunity here is to recognize and positively channel that energy. So there are ways to reduce stress and to limit these out of control behaviors. And in my article below, I've listed some tactics and more information for you to read. If you are interested in personality profiling, please reach out for assistance. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, thanks again for listening, and stay well. We'll see you again in October. Bye.